Hey everyone, Tamara here for another burst of innovation. My gosh, there are so many of you on here today. Thank you for joining me. Clearly, you are also interested in understanding what it takes to be part of the insight economy and what I even mean by that. So let's dig in. So here's the thing, the gap between technology and human is shrinking. I think we're all experiencing that. In fact, I recently read a study from McKinsey saying that for 6 out of 10 jobs, technology can now do 30% of your job. And you better believe that number is increasing. And that's happening up, down, and sideways on the organizational ladder. It's not just for people on the manufacturing floor or, at the checkouts down at the grocery store where it's now self-checkout. It's actually happening to all of us. But in a time where technology and artificial intelligence and digital disruption is taking over so many things that we do, there's actually an incredible opportunity to add value and to find that more innovative voice and that relevancy. In fact, to even leverage that technology if I think you do really 3 things. The first one is if you shift your mindset. So oftentimes what I hear from people is, I don't know what to do, technology's taking over my job, right? So it's a mindset of fear. It's a mindset of something is being taken away from me. I want you to shift, that's you. I want you to shift your mindset from what is this taking away from me to how can I leverage this technology to be better at my job, to be more valuable at my job, to provide more solutions and insights. It's a subtle but important flip that a lot of us need to make. We need to stop seeing technology as something that's taking away from us and start to ask ourselves, hey, wait a minute, how do I leverage this technology in a way that actually benefits me and what I'm trying to accomplish? We recently had a question on Inside Launch Street podcast from Matthew, kind of around this. He was saying that a software had taken over his ability to generate reports. He used to do it, now the technology does it, and he's like, where's my voice in all this? And what I was saying to him, which actually leads into my second of the 3 tools, is, Matthew, it's not just about what that technology is taking away from you. It's what you can leverage out of it. And what Matthew and all of us can leverage out of it is the second part of this, which is providing the insights that the data and the information provide. Information's not enough. We are inundated with information. We are inundated with big data. We're inundated with software systems and initiatives and technology, and that's all great. But the ones that win, the ones that are part of the insight economy, are the ones that elevate from information to insights. What does the data tell you? What does the software allow you to do that you couldn't do before? What are the patterns and the connections that are going to help you determine next steps? In fact, oftentimes when I am presented with information, I'm generating information, what I like to do is look at it and say, hold on, what are the patterns and the insights coming out of this information? What does this information tell me about what I need to do next? What decisions I need to make? Those types of simple questions get you away from just being concerned about technology and data and information and helping you understand how to best leverage it. That is an incredible human capability, that ability to find the patterns and the insights, the stuff that is not linear and obvious. You have the opportunity to do that. And that leads me into my third of the tools, which is be innovative. Technology has this incredible way of doing the baseline work for us. But guess what? That means if we're not stuck in the weeds, let technology, let that software be stuck in the weeds, you actually have the opportunity to innovate, to think differently about what's right in front of you. You all know that's my definition of innovation. That's the opportunity to stand out. That's the opportunity to be a part of this insight economy, because those are the ones and of us that are winning in today's market. And if you look at the people that you admire, listen to, maybe you listen to their podcast, maybe you watch their videos, maybe you follow them, maybe they're leaders that you have at work. I guarantee you that what they provide you is this information, this insights and this innovation, right? They make sense of all the stuff out there. They're not just out there spewing data. They're coming up with innovative solutions from what the software is giving them, or they're using their time to find other opportunities and to solve other challenges. So I want to share a story really quickly, something that actually happened to me early on in my career. So I was leading this team. We were working for a really large consumer packaged goods company. So think of it as, products like food and cleaning supplies you'd find in Target, grocery store, whatever. And the first part of the project was a market research project. And they hired us to understand who their consumer was and then to build a range of new products that would meet those consumers' needs. And my team and I put together a brilliant presentation. It looked amazing, if I must say so. We had the most incredible visuals at the time and like graphics flying in and out. And what we were presenting to them was who their customer was, right? And we had segmented it up and gave them a special names and gave them little profiles. Very interesting information. I think you see where I'm headed with this. So we go to the client. There's about 8 of them in the room and the 3 of us, and we're presenting what we think is this incredible information, right? And some people are nodding and I'm nodding and we're looking at it. And at the very end of the meeting, one of the clients called us out on it. And he said to me, "So this is all great information, but what am I supposed to do with it? What is my decision based on this information?" And this very awkward silence filled the room. We had missed the mark. We allowed the software, right? This kind of all this data that we had crunched together. At that time, it was Excel taking over our jobs, but now it's much deeper than that. But, we let that come up with these segments, and then we presented those segments. We provided no value, but we had the opportunity to provide the value. We just didn't take advantage of it. So the 3 things I want you to do to be part of the insight economy, the people who are winning in today's marketplace. And by the way, you and I have the opportunity to be a part of the insight economy. This is not for a select few or people with a special title or like have a special skill, not in any way whatsoever. I think if you follow me enough, you know that I know from our work and research that particularly innovation insights is something that all of us are capable of doing. In fact, being innovative is universal. We all do it. It's actually quite common, but how we do it is unique to each of us. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, that's like the Seth Godins and the Malcolm Gladwells of the world. Yeah, they're incredible at it. They do it every day. But you and I have the opportunity to do that in the work that we do. So think about where in your job you can provide insights, where you can be innovative, where you can shift your mindset from kind of how all this change in technology, how it's happening to you, how maybe it's taking away from you, to how you can actually leverage it for change. The reality is technology can and should do some of the things that we've been doing for a long time. And that's actually a really incredible thing because it frees us up to think about all these other things, to do all these other things, to provide the insights that the technology can't do. So the next time you're having a presentation or communicating to someone else in some way, I want you to stop yourself and really think about, am I providing insight and value? Am I coming forward with innovation? Or am I just baseline? Am I just information? I really believe that as robot and person get closer and closer together, and really not just belief, it's what I've seen, that it's those of us who are willing to step up from that level, that these are the ones, and this is what it takes to win. Here's the deal. All that stuff that technology is doing, that's become cost of entry. It's speed of business. So we got to go from here to here. It's the insight economy. I'm telling you right now, as the owner of a business and talking to a lot of other business owners and leaders within companies, the people we're looking to hire are people who are part of the insight economy, the insight workforce. We're not looking to hire people who can do a task. We're looking to hire people who can make sense of those tasks. Your bosses are looking for people who can help them understand the data that they're looking at, figure out what to do next. Your customers want you to make sense of the world with them, regardless if you're a product or service. So that is the insight economy. Thank you so much for joining me today for this burst of innovation. God, I'm tongue-tied today, aren't I? So great to see all of you here.